Welcome back to the podcast with yet no name. I'm sure we'll get one soon. We might even figure it out today at some point. I'm Jack, and with Jimmy today. In this, we're going to be talking about the reverse diet, which is the most overlooked part of losing body fat, because everyone just thinks it's easy. Everyone thinks that suddenly at the end of a diet, you can just go back to eating normal and live your normal life again. Yet that just leads to a lot of weight gain if you don't do it in the right way. So we're going to talk about why you need to do it, the things to look out for as you start increasing your calories again, and actually just the general way to actually increase your calories from the end of your diet. Now, Jimmy actually here is literally just finished a long diet phase himself, a bit different for a contest prep. So he is kind of in the midst of, I guess, a sense of a reverse diet right now. And like, how are you finding that? Like, how are you finding eating more food to start with, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to sort of like get back to some sort of normal within your food, as you well know as well. But
should put some pictures up of Jimmy's
contest
prep photos as well.
I mean, you'll probably most likely see my face, but it's nice to get back to somewhat normal. But I think it's a period where you don't want to go too crazy at the same time. You've obviously got to take it quite easy, but it's good to get back to some normal food, mate.
Yeah,
just slowly increasing, but with that, obviously, as you know, again, the hunger increase is pretty crazy at the moment. So
yeah,
plenty of these sort of things at the moment.
Plenty of monster, and it's weird, isn't it? Like suddenly you can eat more, but you feel hungry again.
Yeah,
it's such a weird place to be in, because I think everyone thinks that when they finish a diet, that suddenly eating more is going to be the easiest thing in the world. But I think there's mental differences, and there's, I guess, like psychological differences with when it comes to eating more, because what people probably don't realize is the longer you spend dieting, the more your hormones are going to be probably taking a bit of a tanking over that period of time, especially if you've got to like low body fat levels during that period as well. Like through a 6-month diet or losing 10, 20, maybe even 30 kilos for a lot of people, hormones are not going to be the same as what they were at the start. So ghrelin, leptin, they're all going to be totally like kind of out of whack, and you have to rebuild those back up. And this is why we see a lot of people finish their diets, gain, I don't know, 15, 20 pounds within a couple of weeks. We've seen some horrific, we were talking about this yesterday, we've seen some horrific ones.
I think it's a really hard time, actually. It's not, some people think that the dieting's the hard part, but when you actually get to that reverse, I think you need more accountability and more structure than potentially before, because once you do, and if you do go off the rails as such, like it can be a very slippery slope, and it can lead you back to almost where you started for some people. So that's why we harp on about it quite a lot. It
becomes a rebound instead of a reverse.
It becomes a rebound,
and unfortunately, people then end up having to then diet it back off. With their hormones still in the gutters as well, because that's the thing as well. It doesn't just suddenly happen like that. I think some people think that the reversal of like kind of, I guess, like your metabolism, where it's like kind of got to over the period of dieting, it's going to take many weeks to kind of come back to what is that more normal level. And if you've suddenly gained 15, 20 pounds with hormones still like in the shitter, your metabolism still a little bit like on the lower side where you haven't adapted to eating more food, that then becomes even harder to lose. Because it doesn't just suddenly just come back off. I feel it stays. Like, I remember a lot of my failed attempts in the past.
I think people just think it's like a pinnacle, isn't it? It's like, I've finished my diet now. It's like, that's it, surely. But yes, it is a time that you can sort of start to relax a bit more. But like you say, you got to be careful. So you have got to do it with structure still. Or it can quickly go the opposite.
It's the warning signs for me that we get, like I get from clients all the time, is I can't wait to go back to normal. That's my first warning sign when someone says to me, like, I'm just like, okay, I need to keep you accountable, because that normal is not what got you into this position in the first place.
I mean, that normal's where you potentially started, right? Like where you come to us for help. That normal.
Eating a croissant in the morning with a Starbucks coffee and you're 800 calories deep for your breakfast. That's the normal that everyone wants to get back to.
That's prime Jimmy Neal, right? Almond croissant.
Is that the drink and the food of choice at the minute then? So with the reverse then, again, we've talked about the I guess the damages psychologically and reversing calories back up for that reason. How would you go about it, like in terms of what you would do for clients? It's a bit different for yourself right now because of prep. You're in what almost classed as a recovery diet, which is completely different to a reverse. You want to get body fat up quicker.
Yeah.
But for someone who's just got, let's just say they've got to 10 to 15%, like the ideal range, they've got beach lean, they've done what they needed to, the hard work is done. What would be the first step that they should be taking if they're looking to start this reverse?
So I think initially, I mean, obviously the calories are going to have to come up.
Yeah.
So depending on the person, how lean they've got, obviously we've sort of said that, you know, we're at a sort of an optimal range of what we would say reversible. So I like to get it up at least sort of 300 to 500 calories, like initial bump, see how that goes. And from there, it has to be an assessment over weeks, periods, typically, but you need to get that initial bump up. I like to keep my training the same, maybe like a touch deload. I don't really like that word too much, but a little bit of a reduction.
What word? Which word is it? Deload. I love a deload, mate. Any excuse to not train.
Any excuse not to train, yeah. Steps, I like to keep them in. I like to keep whatever's. I'll drop cardio. I think for most people, because I like to just reduce a little bit more of the stress. We kind of want to get rid of that inflammation, that stress. But calories up first week, assess again, just like a normal check-in would be. Come around, see what the weight's doing, see how the performance is, see how hormones are feeling, and depending on the weight gain or loss or maintenance, we would push up a little bit more, hold for a week, or we wouldn't typically have to go down if we're in a good spot. But it would be either that maintenance or slowly trickling up. I don't know if you do that any differently.
Pretty much the same. I just think like weekly increases and then judging it by scale weights and how you look.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me, and I think a lot of people watching this who've maybe tried to do it, is they will struggle with the initial bit of water retention they might have and not feeling the leanness that they ever have as they start to bring food up. Yeah. Because I think the mental side is we attach ourselves to our lowest scale weight.
Yes.
So let's just say you've dieted for 6 months and you've got to, I don't know, the lowest you've ever weighed, the best you've ever looked. Your abs are popping, like they look really grainy, or there's bicep veins, and it's fucking great, right? It's amazing.
Sounds like last week, mate.
Like it's one of those feelings that until you get there, it's hard to describe.
Yeah.
So it becomes almost a scary thing to eat more, because maybe a couple of weeks pass and you maybe don't feel as tight as you once did. Some of the food you're eating has maybe a bit more salt in, so you're retaining a bit more water, and that might look like body fat to you when you wake up in the mirror in the morning. But if anything, this is your body just getting a little bit more back to normal. And I think that's, to be honest, one of the hardest things that I know I struggle with, other clients struggle with, and a lot of people we speak to. And it's probably why they never really see it through, because it either comes all or nothing. You either stay very, very lean, or you just think, oh, fuck it, this is not working. Suddenly I'm going to gain all this weight back. So it's a hard place to be, but I think when you really stick it out, things settle, because it does take a few weeks to for your body to realize it's eating more again.
Yeah, I think it's the same when you start fat loss, though, isn't it? Really, it's like people are like, I can't do this. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do this? You've done it for 1 week. I'm like, of course you're going to feel hungry, but every sort of step you take and every sort of drop in calories you take, you need to give yourself that sort of body reset, that bit of time where it adjusts to what it's doing now. It's like, like I said to you, I went quite low on this prep on calories, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but give it a week and it's actually okay. Yeah. So I think a little bit more time's needed in both periods, and especially the reverse. Just looking at yourself, and you're not waking up and chasing them lows anymore, or scale weight, we know how rough that is for some people. Like this, all they focus about. So
would you ditch it, like when
the
you're trying reverse? Like if someone's struggling mentally with seeing the gains?
If you're struggling mentally, I would definitely first off, and I like to do this quite early actually, is just do 1 a week.
Yeah,
because
that's a good idea.
Just 1 a week, especially in the reverse, because we know that as long as they're doing what we've said, it's not going to be major what happens.
Yeah.
And the likelihood is they're going to be able to keep increasing their food. But if they're constantly looking at the scale and it's like up ½ kilo, up 0.7, up 0.8, and they're like, what's going on?
Yeah,
it's like, but like how you looking, your glycogen's coming back, you're looking fuller, you're actually looking better. But that psychological look on the scale on a daily basis can ruin it sometimes.
It's learning to love two different physiques. I think that's the biggest thing you need to take from this, is your physique you end up with at the end of a reverse or even gaining phase, and we'll probably get into that in another video. you just need to learn to like love the two differences of what they bring. Because when you're depleted, tired, and you've just finished a diet, you look great, but you probably feel like garbage. Like
Yeah, I mean,
energy is probably crap. When you reverse, you might not look as dialed in, but you've got energy again. Like just little normal daily tasks aren't as much of a chore as they used to be. And it's trade-offs. I think that's all it comes down to, is the trade-off of something is not going to be there, and you have to figure out what for you means more. Like I know for me, like getting lean is not something I always want to sustain. I just don't ever feel good being lean. Like I do it for a reason, for a photo shoot or a diet or whatever, but it's that period after where I like kind of feel my best. I'm still like in a good position, and I can have the energy to just do normal day-to-day shit.
Yeah, and I think that's what we try to promote, isn't it? It's like, get your diet done, reverse, and you'll find that spot where you're like, okay, I look quite lean, really strong, performance is good, energy is good, like everything hormonally is good, like I feel good, work and energy levels. But it's obviously great. It's great to be lean, isn't it? It's great for the pictures, it's great for the gram, obviously. It's great for whatever, you want it for, but it shouldn't necessarily be forever, I don't think.
No, and I think we sometimes bias our self-worth on how lean we are sometimes. It's the way Instagram grows, isn't it? Of everyone looking lean all the time, which maybe puts the wrong thought process in, like actually where you should sort of sit.
Like the reality of it, right? It's like so many people are like, oh yeah, this lean year round. It's like, for most people, that's not really a viable option, is it? You know, like I know it's not for me anyway. Like, I won't get my abs until that last sort of 6 weeks of a diet, for instance, and then the rest of me's lean. But it's like, fuck.
Yeah, for sure. How long do you think it's going to take someone to do it? So the reverse, for some people, it feel like it's a never going process, just because they probably do it wrong and gain loads of weight, they diet, and then they're back to gaining and dieting all the time. Yeah. It's like, from when I've done it, it's about 4 to 6 weeks. I've seen clients take a little bit longer, who I feel like the ones that probably don't have as much muscle, it takes a little bit longer, because that rebuild for them is something you have to be a bit cautious with, because their scale weight does just fly up. But is that like a good time frame that you would normally stick to?
Yeah, I think so for the most part. Yeah, and although it might actually be longer, I think you sort of just like, well, it depends what sort of phase you're heading into next, isn't it? Like if you're then maintaining after you've sort of like built them calories back up. But I think once you sort of stabilize body weight, stabilize performance, and performance starts picking up, you can sort of then say, all right, we're there now. Yeah. Now what do you want to do? Are we going to go to a gaining phase or maintaining for a while? But yeah, like you say, it is person dependent, right?
That next goal is important though, isn't it? Like the next goal after. Yeah,
it's like, what do you want to do? It's fine either way.
I think this is why a lot of people struggle with it. Yeah. It's not as they don't know what to do, because we talk about this all the time, but they've just spent so long working towards one goal, and then the next goal is not really that exciting. Like, let's be honest, like no one like finishes a diet and there's like, oh, I'm really excited to reverse my calories. No. I'm really excited to now maintain. Like, how fucking boring does that sound?
Or I'm really excited to go on a like big bulk. Like for some people, that's like really not a thing. Or even like, I don't really like to use the word obviously bulk anymore, but like a gaining phase, because if ultimately you come to me and you're like, I want to really like change my physique, so I want to look more muscular on the beach, or I want to have that more toned look. I'm like, ultimately you want to build muscle. So that is going to have a gaining phase, which is bulk. But you know, like you say, it's not really that exciting as such for them sort of phases.
No. And I think this is where new goals and like kind of setting things that are probably like a year in, like kind of in the picture forwards, is the most important things. Because I think for wanting to carry on, you have to have something that's down the line. Like a lot of our clients we work with, that initial diet is part of the process. Like you said, if they want to gain muscle, they've got to go through what is a gaining phase or a bulk. And I hate those terminologies because they do just sound awful. You're going to bulk and gain.
Just so outdated.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's
fish and rice cakes.
Let's just call it a growth phase.
Growing.
But yeah, having something to work towards, so then you can see the fruits of what that does in like a year's time. And I'm sure we can put some like kind of bits up on the screen of Omar. So we were recently just talking about him yesterday when he went for his first diet. It was like 17 kilos lost, and we put the photos here. He finished on about 1,500 calories, and like that's pretty low. Like I know for him at the time, he was really tired, his energy was rubbish. Those issues we spoke about with hormones being pretty crap. And then building up from there, I think we managed to get his calories up close to 3,000, and then we did a mini cut in 8 weeks. So his first diet was probably anywhere, I think it was just under 6 months.
Yeah.
Second diet, 8 weeks. That's the thing about doing a reverse properly, is being able to do that, get lean quick, rather than like having to drag it out for another 6 months because you didn't do the right thing in between.
It's like how many people actually get to that point though. It's like I almost think that people think we're lying when they say,
No.
like, if you do it right the first time, reverse out, and then you can be 6 weeks away from looking your best on your holiday, and then you don't have to do like a 12-week, 16-week diet. You know, like you can be within that range, but. Yeah,
I mean, it does sound too good to be true, and like you say, I think people think that we are lying because it sounds good. Like it sounds good in theory, but you have to put it into practice.
I think you have to apply it, don't you? Like not everybody can do that, especially not alone. I think that's why we obviously get good results with the accountability we offer to people.
I think you need more accountability after the diet than you do during it. Like obviously
completely
they all
agree.
have good reasons to be on it, but your reverse is the one that you need to be sticking with your coach. Like let's be honest, you need to stick with your coach in your reverse, especially if you've never done one before. Having that phase where you actually follow it through properly, do it properly for once. You don't have to do it again for life. Like, and again, we're not just saying that is just the reality of what can be done.
Yeah, because it can easily be ruined. It is as important as a fat loss phase, I think. If you go through that fat loss phase, great, get the pictures, get the result you want. But how many times have we seen people that are like, okay, I think I'm good to go now on my own. And we're like, okay, cool, like that's sweet. But then 6-7 months down the line, it's like they're heavier than when we first started our diet phase, and it's like,
come back same place, if not worse. Time wasted. We just wasted a year.
Which is, it's unfortunate for them because like I say, we don't want that to happen, do we? Like we want them to get there and be, I'm going away in 6 weeks. Like, cool, right, let's sharpen it up. Let's get back to where he was, and almost like mini sort of reverse out after that, and it can definitely be done. Yeah,
it can be done, and I think it just shows the results we've got, what can happen off the back of it. Well, I think that's probably enough about reverse dieting on how to do it. If you have any questions for us on actually the process itself, let us know, ask us, and I'm sure we'll be able to help guide you through it. If you want to download our 4 weeks free coaching, you can grab it in the link in the bio. This will help you get started with your diet so you're doing it the right way and not wasting your time. And again, follow us both on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.